Hey there, everybody. It's me, Soapy, and I'm going to be casting some of the WCS replays, actually. I figured that since they released them, I'd show you guys some good games, not dreadful ones like the ones that we've been casting recently. By we, I mean me and Bronx, which actually brings me on to two pretty good points. Bronx isn't here right now. He's actually busy, so I'm going to be casting this alone. The reason for that being because, in case you guys haven't noticed, there hasn't been a lot of stuff on for the past few days. The reason for that being that every time we cast something, something goes horribly wrong. I don't record it on accident, like I pressed the wrong button to start the recording. The file corrupts. File corrupting kind of sucked. Or sound. The audio was so messed up on some of the first few games that we played or casted that we just couldn't put them out. Thankfully, though, I've hopefully fixed most of that. So instead of worrying about that for this, I'm going to talk to you guys about the game. This is the first group in the Challengers League. It's starting off with viOLet up in the top right. He will be our red Zerg. And he'll be playing against desRow down in the bottom left. I, Asus, I, desRow. Starting builds, actually a 15 pool coming out from viOLet to start this game off. desRow is going to try and block the natural. And viOLet doesn't really have anything to spend money on until he, throws down the hatchery. Unless he wanted to go for a gas and start putting on pressure. Which wouldn't exactly be bad because desRow is going very, very risky Nexus first. Although he's going to get a forge, so he can put up cannons. Which is a bit safer than Nexus into Gateway. Quite a bit smarter, too, if I have to be honest. ZVP is not a super volatile matchup or anything. It's not very coin tossy. It's actually very, very straightforward. Build counters are pretty easy to come by. Like, if desRow had blocked that natural for too long, viOLet would have been smart to throw up a gas and try and make something happen, although I don't think he would have been able to get anything done in time. Then again, the forge had just started while desRow was blocking that natural, so maybe he could have. He could have had Lings streaming across probably that very second and just thrown up a gas, put 3 drones into it, tried to mine some of the gas so that way he could get Ling speed. But didn't end up happening that way. He chased off desRow quick enough. Now we see that desRow's got his 1 gateway, 1 forge, cybernetics core, and a photon cannon here guarding the front. viOLet going fast third before the... Actually, yeah, that was third at the 4-minute mark. So he's going a very, very fast third, playing pretty greedy. And he knows that he can do this because he's scouted the front, and he's got an Overlord in the natural. So he's not exactly unwise to what's going on. He does see the cybernetics core finish, but he also notices that the gateway hasn't started doing anything. Stargate is going down. So my point was, though, he's not going to be moving this Overlord until he sees that the gateway's doing something, and then he'll probably just move the Overlord up there so that way he can keep an eye out. Cybernetics core is going to start Warp Gate. What do we have coming out from viOLet? Nothing, really. viOLet's just droning. He has an Overlord coming in to scout the main base. It is going to see that Stargate. There is no Stalker to try and stop it. He's going Sentry, and yeah, viOLet's moving out his Overlord right now. Saw that the Gateway was starting. He probably started a little bit earlier than that. Figured that the tech was going to come out quick. viOLet is quite an intelligent being. I don't know if viOLet saw that he was going to be warping in a Phoenix, but there is a Phoenix coming out. I know viOLet saw the Stargate itself. Yeah, it looks like he saw Phoenix. So I think he knows the first Phoenix is out, so if he didn't know before, he does know now. Probably going to try and pull back some of his Overlords? Nah, he's not. He's pretty much figured them for forfeit, so he's not really going to try and throw any of them back. Going to build the lair at his third base. Okay. Before I talk about that, +1 coming out from desRow. He does have the Forge there, so he can do something like that. Evolution Chamber is coming down for viOLet. Also the Roach Warren, so we might be going a Roach Hydra build. And Spore Crawlers to try and defend all of his places. But let's talk about the lair and where that lair is positioned. Also link speed. The third base on this map is not terrible. Oh, it appears as though there was a pause. Yeah, it appears as though there was a pause. The third base is not terrible to defend on this map if you've got good creep spread. The third base isn't terrible to defend on any map that's kind of like this if you've got good creep spread, but an easy way to do it would be to go air. The reason I don't like it on that other map, I think it's Merry-Go-Round or Catalina, is that this little stump right here is not very big on this map, whereas on Catalina, it's a lot bigger. It spans a lot more. So it's a little bit more difficult to do anything about that. Okay, so viOLet's got Zerglings coming in over here, and I'm not sure why. There doesn't seem to be any reason. Oh my god, Pylon's going down to try and protect this probe that seemed really unnecessary. And he wasted about 75 minerals off of it. Not a ton, but, you know, every little bit counts, I suppose. That's almost another Pylon. Phoenixes are going to be moving across the map, trying to harass a little bit. viOLet does not know where these Phoenixes are. But he probably couldn't take an engage anyway, and I think he knows that. He doesn't have enough Zerglings. Hydras. Hydras are being pumped out. Goliath Reconstitution also for Roach speed, although I find that to be a little odd that he's going Roach speed. This Queen is going to get picked, not in a really great position. If you're going to put Spore Crawlers that far back, you need to move your Queens next to the Spore Crawlers so that way they're not vulnerable. Not only that, but it probably would have been smart anyway because his Queen was probably blocking a lot of what's coming out of that larva. And it's not like a big deal or anything. It's not very it's very nitpicky of me to bring up, but it's still something you really don't want to have to deal with. +1 Carapace is out for the Zerg. +1 Weapons is out for the Protoss. And it looks like from there are no more upgrades being made. That's a lot of Phoenix. That is a lot of Phoenix, and those are not enough Hydras to deal with the Phoenix and the Zealots. Yeah. All of these Hydras are going to get picked up, and the Phoenixes are going to start picking them off. Muscular Augment's coming out, but it does not look incredibly great for viOLet right now. He's got a good bit of Hydralisks coming out, though, and the Muscular Augments are going to be really nice. Pathogen Glands. Pathogen Glands is going to be great. Those Phoenixes clump up very, very quickly. So he's going to be able to do wonders when it comes to those things, picking them off quite easily. Good Force Field's actually coming out here. viOLet's going to try and engage into this army. He's not going to be doing anything good about it, though. He's got enough Roaches to try and batter back. Actually, those Hydras were doing really, really well until the Phoenixes came in. Phoenixes are going to tear those Hydras apart. That one Roach is going to survive until desRow notices it and starts picking it off. Hydras are going down to these Phoenixes. Zerglings and Hydras are going to be created right now. Pathogen Glands still coming out. So close. If he wanted to start those Infestors, he should have started them just a little bit ago. He didn't, though. Infestors don't take forever to come out. Infestors take 50 seconds. That's a pretty long time. And I don't know how long Pathogen Glands is, but it's, you know, you can make Infestors about halfway through Pathogen A lot of Lings. Oh, man. A lot of Lings going to come in here. Actually going to get a really good flank on the ground army, but the air army of desRow is really looking good right now. Nothing really able to fight this Phoenix army. And while it's nice that viOLet's going to be winning the ground game, the Phoenixes can still live. Phoenixes, however, not too great against Zerglings. As far as stuff that can't shoot up goes. Zerglings, if there are enough in numbers, Phoenixes can pick them up pretty quickly and kill them pretty quickly, but there are going to be way too many if he floods Zerglings, which is why desRow right now has been going a lot of Zealots on the ground army. Immortal going to be coming out. One Immortal already out. Bunch of sentries. 5, 6. 6 sentries. And more Phoenixes coming out. Also, +2 ground weapons. Only missile attacks coming out right now for the Zerg. +1 missile attacks. It does not have +2. Is not going for Carapace upgrades. Probably questionable, in my opinion, because of the Phoenixes. You really want those Carapace upgrades so that way they can survive longer against the... Or so that way anything that's pick up can survive longer against the Phoenixes. Because your attack upgrades really aren't going to matter at that point. Although, the missile attacks are going to help when the Hydralisks are coming after the Phoenixes. I think a good tech choice right now... Oh, that's right, he was. He built the Infestors. They are out now, and those Phoenixes do like to clump when they start picking up. Although I think he should go Burrow, honestly. I think viOLet should go Burrow. That way he can hide his Infestors, and they can't be picked up by the Phoenixes. And if the Infestors can't be picked up by the Phoenixes, then the Infestors are going to have a really nice time when they start picking up Hydralisks. Swarm Hosts coming out. This is actually a very common unit against air armies, but I don't know if it's very... Oh, wow, really good fungal. But he is going to lose all of those Infestors now. No, he's not. There's not enough Phoenixes. They were all held in place. Wow, excellent play from viOLet. Seriously great play coming out there. And viOLet may actually have a hold on this game now. I think he may have grounded himself enough to be able to pull this out, possibly. Zerg missile attacks is going to be up. Ground weapons for Protoss are going to be up, though. Enduring Locusts is going to be out pretty soon. And Ground Weapons 3 actually coming out instantly for the Protoss. desRow is going to really try and hammer these weapon upgrades for ground because I think that's, yeah, he's not producing anything out of the starports anymore, and he's switching to Templar Archives. I think desRow is pretty much done with his Stargates. The mass Phoenixes have been countered pretty hard. Locusts are going to start streaming out now. Enduring Locusts don't give Locusts speed, if I'm correct, so it would be really nice if he creeped up that little area. No real engagement starting, just a bunch of fungals trying to hold off the army. Good force fields, though. Really trapping the spores and the spines that are going up to try and defend against this. The static defense not working at all in viOLet's favor. Not really working against him, though. It is holding off the army long enough that he is going to be able to chip away at it just enough to get these Lings in and these Locusts in. Going to pick off a good number of these Immortals and Stalkers. Zealots aren't going to hold anything to this army. Robotics Bay coming down, but I don't know if it's enough in time. I think it's too little too late. He is throwing down a second robotics facility, is building another Immortal, but he doesn't have sentries to force field this off. He doesn't have anything. If we look at the units tab, all he has is 14 Zealots. And even then, he's not moving them in to attack. He's going to try and pick off all of the Swarm Hosts before they get the chance to spawn their next bit of larva. My apologies. Infestors did catch a good fungal on those Zealots, but God, that's a lot of Zealots. Infestors getting another really good fungal. But I don't know if there's much to come of it now. If he could get that Observer, actually no, what he really needs to get right now is the Forge. Not focusing it down, but yeah, he's going to pick it up real quick. No, he's not. He's not actually trying to hit it. The robotics facility is going to go down before it produces a Colossus, though. That's going to be really, really helpful. But this is a lot of Zealots for Infestors, or for Hydralisks only. But the Hydralisks just mow right through them. Not even a game on that last fight. desRow kind of letting it slip. desRow really, really had it earlier in the game. I mean, he had the right amount of Phoenixes. They were picking off a lot of those Hydras. And he saw what his opponent was doing. He just didn't tech switch fast enough. I mean, we look at this fight right here, where desRow tried to approach up the ramp to viOLet's 4th. He was not producing anything to try and get out Colossus. Yeah, no, he just started the Robotics Bay. And that fight started, I think, a good... Yeah, what time are we at right now? About 8:34 right now. When it starts... Let's go to 1744. 1834 to 1744. That's that. Alright, there's the army. God, this is such a weird way to do this. Okay. So at 1744, this assault starts officially. He's walked units up the ramp. He's made the first few shots to this. The Fungals go down. The Fungals are really good. They hold a lot of Stalkers in place and stop one Immortal, I think, from firing. And still no Colossus tech switch. Still has nothing about that tech switch. He's hitting really good Fungals. desRow's not microing properly, though. He's leaving certain Immortals behind. He's going to take a lot of hits to these Zerglings. And yeah, he started the Robotics Bay a full minute. Not a full minute. It was pretty close, though. It was pretty close to a full minute before he should have, or after he should have. He should have started this Colossus actually forever ago. He has so much money in his bank right now. I mean, if you look at it, right now, he has plenty of money to tech switch to Colossus. I don't even think he made a round of units before he moved out. Let's look, though. Templar Archives goes down. Stalkers. Okay. Let's just open you up. Robotics Bay. He has the money. Doesn't have the money anymore. Lost all of his gas. He warped in some Stalkers. Okay. Understandable. Fair move. Honestly, the fact that he attacked into this is kind of not good on his part anyway. He has a strong army, but he's not maxed. And against this... And in this situation, honestly, I feel like you would really want to be maxed. He didn't... He caught, like, a Hydralisk, I think. He killed one. If that. Phoenixes move in, but Phoenixes don't actually do anything. They just kind of sit there. He's not going for the Infestors. The Hydras just start shooting the Phoenixes, and the Phoenixes leave. That's it. Phoenixes didn't do anything in that fight, where they really could have just started picking up Hydralisks and picking them off. That would have been really helpful. But I feel like desRow was just so far ahead until this moment. Maybe not this exact moment. I feel like this was the big turning point, but also a little bit further back, he got his Phoenixes caught by the Infestors that he didn't know were going to be there. And I think that also really hurt him quite a bit. Yeah, let's go here. See if that's it. Those are the Phoenixes. I think the Phoenixes? Yeah, that's the Phoenixes. Those are them. Whoa, not too fast. Times 2. Okay, so he moves... Yeah, this is his armada of Phoenixes. This is back when he had a ton of Phoenixes. Picks off the Overseer. Starts moving. The Infestors, I think, are just now coming out. Yeah, Infestor sitting right there. Big fungal. Huge fight. And then he picks up the Infestors, but there's just not enough Phoenixes. I think that was the only other point in time where desRow made a misstep that probably cost him the game. He didn't make the Colossus. He took that fight up the ramp, which he didn't really need to take. He was on equal bases with the Zerg. He could have just turtled up. I mean, Zerg is not as good against any other race on equal bases. They just aren't. They don't have enough to produce larvae, although he did have, what, one macro hatch? One macro hatch is good. One macro hatch is probably not enough. Although that fourth base, especially with the gold, would have been really, really helpful to viOLet. But desRow was going to have a gold of his own. And he would have been able to produce Colossus, and Colossus would have done amazing against these Swarm hosts. And this Swarm host Hydralisk. Like, Colossus could have swiped the Locusts and the Hydralisks and probably taken a lot of this game. But, oh well. It is what it is. This is just game 1, though. There are... I think it was a best of 5? So, we got a few games to look into. We've got a few games. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. It's been good. I've been Soapy, and hopefully next time Bronx will be around. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.